I think it was Speaker Tip O'Neill that said all politics is local, and all politics is local. And it all starts and ends right here in these local counties and local cities. We've never had a pandemic that affected a state as much as this. And of course, counties are the microcosm of the state. Are y'all interviewing the governor or Rick Scott or anybody, our senator, about all this, or just plain old low caliber people like us?
When the rest of the country was shutting down due to the coronavirus, Florida was still partying.
Videos like these stirring outrage, with spring break seemingly in full swing.
Coronavirus? You don't care about no coronavirus?
If I get corona, I get corona. At the end of the day, I'm not going to let it stop me from partying.
I hope also mom and dad who's paying like Generation Z's bills while they're out there partying on the beach are pulling the plug.
Exactly.
Yes.
Governor Ron DeSantis didn't make any statewide restrictions, so local governments were left to themselves to make their own rules.
This is a virus that is affecting the whole state, but I think it affects different communities differently.
With no statewide order to shut down beaches, things got a little crazy across the state.
The cures for some of these diseases are very simple. You hold a blow dryer in front of your face and you inhale with your nose, and it kills all the viruses in your nose.
When we call a declaration of emergency,
previous declaration.
I'm not going back and forth with you.
In the small town of Destin, their leaders didn't wait on the governor to make a decision.
I'm certainly disappointed that the governor hasn't taken more decisive action regarding our beaches.
They took matters into their own hands.
Resolution 2004, which effectively closed beach access ways in the city of Destin.
And it passes unanimously. Meeting adjourned. Thank you all.
After Destin became one of the first towns in Florida to shut down all of its beaches, we wanted to meet the people in charge and see how this decision is impacting their community. So right now we're going to meet the mayor of the city of Destin. We're going to talk about how it is to be a mayor of a tourist city in Florida during a global pandemic.
Come on board.
This is nice.
I moved here in 1975. The fishing here is some of the best in the world, so I never left. We got beautiful sugar white beaches. We got restaurants, water sports. We have the largest charter fleet in America.
Describe to me what Destin was like when the coronavirus outbreak hit.
It was blowing and going. In the summer, we'll have as many as 80,000 people here a week. And so for a pandemic to hit a tourist industry, you couldn't have wrote a worse script here in the Panhandle of Florida, because Destin itself, our economy's tourism. I just thought that it was going too far to close our beaches, because all you hear on the news is if you get this, you're gonna die. It breeds fear, and fear lots of times overcomes common sense. We took some very drastic actions because of the fear factor and the unknown.
But some measures were taken, right? The medical professionals that give you the advice that lives can be saved.
That whole thing about losing a life really irritates me.
You don't like that, do you?
No, you know why? If I thought and worried about dying every day, well, I'd never get my truck, because I could die in that truck. I could die out here at sea. We cannot stay in our safe place with our comfort dog for months and months and months. And I don't need the government to protect me.
You are the government.
Okay.
You're the mayor.
Yeah, but when you're a mayor of a tourism community like this, at some point, you gotta have tourism.
Tourism brings over $80 billion a year into Florida. When COVID hit, it was like a double whammy for Destin, because not only did their local economy shut down, but the tourists also stopped coming. We met with local restaurant owner Chatham Morgan, who also happens to be a city councilman. Councilman, why do you think Governor DeSantis passed the buck to local governments?
Because he didn't want to accept the blame for shutting down our local economy. But we elected our governor to make tough decisions for the state of Florida, and there's been a lack of leadership on that front.
As a city councilman, do you feel that you were equipped to handle decisions like shutting down beaches?
No, we're unpaid volunteers. I'm a 32-year-old that sells sandwiches and tacos for a living. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I would have to make a decision to shut down our beaches and put 50% of these people out of work. But, we acted a week or two before DeSantis issued a stay-at-home order. So we were actually faster in acting to shut down our economy than our governor was.
DeSantis was one of the last governors to issue a stay-at-home order, but certain essential businesses were exempt.
Their gun range is still operating, practicing social distancing, of course.
He allowed more than 1,000 golf courses in Florida to remain open.
You can now add the WWE to the list of essential businesses in Florida.
I think people have been starved for content. I mean, we haven't had a lot of new content since the beginning of March.
While pro wrestling was given the okay, other business owners in the state were reeling from the shutdown.
What's up, Tolbert?
I'm blessed, sir.
We do an air bump.
Air bump.
Air bump. So tell me about the property.
Back in the day, there was nothing here when my father started this property. 1975, he bought the adjacent land to it next door and made it the largest ramada in the world at the time. This hotel put this place on the map. We're just coming into season. We just finished a $12 million renovation here to the property. So as many days as this has been shut down, we're probably losing $1 million, $1.1 million a day in gross receipts.
And where do you stand now?
I am in the silent majority of people that understand that we have to move on.
When you open this place up, are you at all concerned that someone may contract coronavirus?
Sure, I'm concerned. I'm human. Naturally, I'd be concerned. But you cannot cripple this country and shut it down to where our kids have debt forevermore in a day.
Is it possible that your financial interest in this community clouds your judgment?
None whatsoever. Although I'm a capitalist, I'm not a greedy capitalist pig. I would never put profit before someone's safety. I just hope I'm not wrong on this one. Because, you know, I have to look myself in the mirror, and it would really bother me for the rest of my life if I get this wrong.
As business owners set their sights on reopening, cases continue to rise across the state.
Florida tops 10,000 cases.
Florida now houses the 6th most coronavirus cases in the country.
We are nearing 20,000 coronavirus cases.
The virus is now in every county in Florida.
51,746 cases and 2,252 deaths.
As people get older, and particularly those people that have a serious underlying medical condition, you know, those are the people who are the most at risk to have serious negative consequences from this virus, including death.
This danger became real for many Floridians, especially those in vulnerable age groups like Destin musician Hal Aiken and his wife June. What's going on, Hal?
Mexico, down.
That's you singing and playing, yeah?
Right. Way down in Destin.
I'm used to playing 4-hour sets. I couldn't stand up and hold a guitar right now and play it 2 minutes without falling out. The stuff is that severe.
Yeah.
He wields a wicked guitar when he's well.
Does
Well,
he?
yeah.
I don't doubt it. So when did you all realize this coronavirus thing was real?
Well, since we were some of the first ones to get it. Seriously, I know in our county we were.
I was perfectly fine. And boom, like a Mack truck running over you, I got hit. When we went to bed, I told June, quote, honey, if I don't go to the hospital tomorrow, I'm gonna lay right here and die. I was getting so, I couldn't breathe, and she didn't feel bad.
No, I felt fine.
She's asymptomatic.
That's what they call it.
I'm alive, but I ain't necessarily crawled out of the woodpile yet, because I've been told there is a chance that I may be tethered to oxygen the rest of my life.
There's a lot of discussion about should beaches be open, should they be closed? Do you think local leadership should open these beaches?
If they had had to walk a day in the shoes that Hal has had to walk, or me as somebody that loves him and had to watch him struggle, you would not want to see anything open up.
Right.
Because it's terrifying.
With the governor's 30-day safer-at-home order set to expire, businesses are looking for guidance.
DeSantis made his decision to start phase 1 after receiving recommendations from President Trump.
He's going to be opening up large portions and ultimately pretty quickly because he's got great numbers all of Florida.
With DeSantis' safer-at-home order ending, local politicians like County Commissioner Graham Fountain were planning their next move.
Commissioner Fountain.
Y'all come on in.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm gonna turn that off. The president was speaking and then it went on to something else.
Here in Okaloosa County, how is it dealing with a global pandemic?
This has been a challenge, and I thought I had seen it all in my years. I've dealt with just about every constitutional issue there is, and I pray from day to day. But I started about 3 times a day praying. But if people will follow the governor's recommendations and do it safely, I personally believe we can turn the corner on this.
I was going to ask you that. How do you feel that Governor Ron DeSantis
I think Governor DeSantis, I give him a 4 or 5 stars. I really do.
Out of how many? 10?
No, out of 5. I give him 5 out of 5. Yeah. We cannot continue all through the summer to keep our tourist industry at bay. And our plan is to bring forth emergency declaration to go ahead and open the beaches, because in our state, tourists spend mega bucks on taxes, and there's so many people that work a minimum wage, job, and those are the people that these businesses need to get back to work. So I pray all the time.
Do you think Christ can speak through medical professionals that give you advice that it may be too soon to open?
Absolutely. The Lord works through doctors and nurses every single day, and I've just got the feeling, and it's a personal thing in my spirit, that we're at the point where we can do this experiment, that we can try it.
Less than 6 weeks after Destin voted to close their beaches, they voted to open them back up.
Mr. Braden?
Yes.
Ms. Ramswell?
Yes.
Mr. Morgan?
Yes.
The vote is unanimous, so moved.
With beaches across Florida set to reopen, the system for tracking coronavirus cases in the state was called into question.
Another developing story has to do with the way Florida tracks the fight against the coronavirus. This is the COVID-19 dashboard. The woman who helped design it is off the job.
Jones says she was fired because she was ordered to censor some data but refused.
Asking me to delete data and hide information and make it publicly inaccessible was a bad decision.
Trial lawyer Daniel Uhlfelder, who usually deals with property sales and divorces, sued Governor Ron DeSantis to shut down the beaches. Now that they're reopening, he's shifting his tactics.
What do you think of Governor Ron DeSantis' response to COVID-19?
It's a disaster. He's basically derelict in his duties here by trying to push it on the locals.
The viral video with the college students on spring break in Florida, those kids got a lot of criticism for being on the beaches. Do you think they deserve that criticism?
I think the criticism lays at the hands of our leaders. Ron DeSantis is the one who said our beaches are open. I mean, they weren't breaking any laws. They paid money to come here. They were on break. And everything else in the country was closed.
I heard you have a plan for when the beaches reopen.
I'm gonna step out of frame and hand him the mic so he can explain why he's here and why he's dressed the way that he is.
Thank you. I think it's premature that we open our beaches. It's too soon and it's not appropriate.
Are you guys not at all concerned about the Rona?
No, I think as long as we're all keeping 6 feet apart and we're...
This don't look like 6 feet apart to me.
Trump said that the sun kills the virus.
Hey, Corona Reaper, you know you're scaring the children, right?
The virus kills.
What do you aim to achieve with this show?
My goal is to inform people and make them aware that they are living in a global pandemic.
You're an asshole.
Thank you. I'll see you soon. I hope I get through to somebody.
How y'all doing? I'm out here because they say you're scaring some kids. Sir, you got some idea on you?
It's getting real out here in Northwest Florida on the beach.
This is going to be a public health catastrophe. We're going to open the beaches. We're going to open the restaurants. Everyone, we're back to work. Go Florida. I don't think that's going to work. But maybe the Grim Reaper will be proven wrong.